everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Theoni with Thrifty Divas, and I am here once again with a different type of video for everybody. If you watch me regularly, you have probably heard me discuss contents for my bug out bag several times. And I promised I would show it, and I was just formally switching out the contents into winter stuff to make sure there are winter type supplies in the bug out bag. So I figured now would be a perfect time to do the video and get it out of the way, because I've been promising I'll show it, so let me show it and get that out of the way for everybody. Now, if you are unaware, a bug out bag has several different names. It could be just called an emergency bag. It's often called a good bag. Sorry, Henny. A good bag, which is get out of Dodge. Like a quick evacuate bag, QEB, there's a lot, but basically, or a survival bag, basically a bug out bag. At the bare minimum, it is suggested that it has enough supplies for 72 hours for you and your family in case of emergency, whether it be man-made or natural disasters or whatever may happen. Anything, right? The list goes on and on. It could be absolutely anything that requires you to just evacuate your home immediately. So, and you don't know where you'll end up. You don't know if you'll end up in the wilderness. You don't know if you will just be trying to drive away, if that's possible, or you don't know if you will end up being in an emergency shelter, whatever it may be. So everybody's bug out bags are different. But of course, one of the things that you should always keep in mind is the rule of 3 for survival. You can live without air for 3 minutes. You can live without drinkable water for 3 days. You can live out in extreme weather conditions for 3 hours. And you can live without food for 3 weeks. So just keep that in mind. And again, the basic bag is for 72 hours, and it's going to differ depending on how many members of your family you have, and you might need more than one bag, because another rule of thumb for bug out bags is that they should never exceed 15% of your total body weight. Now, that is if you are already in relatively good shape, and it should absolutely never, under any circumstances, even if you're Iron Man, go above 20% of your body weight. That is because in case you need to traverse long distances on foot, or you have to run away from someone or something, or you have to scale walls or climb fences, anything above 15% of your body weight is going to actually be dangerous to you. So let me show you what I have. So this is the bag that I chose. I like it because it can actually be carried either way, a lot of different ways. First thing, on the outside, I actually just attached these small carabiners with Velcro straps. I have 2 of them on different places on this bag. This bag is cool because it has little rings kind of all over it that you can attach things to. So I like that. Now, for me personally, a bug out bag is an ever evolving process where you're switching things out based on season, based on expiration dates, based on things that you thought of or you found, or anything like that. So again, I switched it out for winter. And I'm just going to start showing you some of the things that I chose to put in mine. So this bag has a little outside pocket. So I'll show you what I decided to stick in there. So the very first thing, and there will be another one, there'll be another one of these in there, but in the outside pocket, something I wanted easily accessible was this folding knife. Just in case. You never know. You never know what the situation is that you are, evacuating for. Who knows? So I have one of these in the outside pocket. The other thing that I have easily accessible is cash. So they recommend to have about $500 in your bug out bag, cash. Now I'm up to 2 I keep putting in whatever. And the reason for the cash is because depending on the emergency situation, electronic means of payments might be out at places. So whatever you may need, gas or who knows, whatever it is, at least you have cash for anything that comes up. So again, that's something that you can just slowly add to, unless you got it like that and you just have $500 cash you just want to put in there and keep in there. So, and if you ever need to tap into it, make sure you replace that as soon as possible. All right, so moving on. You'll also notice everything in my bug out bag is separated and neatly organized, because you also don't want to be digging around for everything. So I will pull out each individual bag. I used all my Shein bags. I thought they were perfect for it and might as well reuse them for something. And I wrote on them with a permanent marker. So I have some different categories in here. So the first little one is clothing. Now, again, I just switched this over for the winter bag, so I just had to think of the most important things. So the most important things that if you read up on this, you will find for clothing is socks, to always have dry socks. Also in the winter, to have head coverings and something for your hands as well. So that is what I have in here. I have socks, I have gloves, and I have hats for all of us. Now, in terms of clothing, like if you're watching this video, this is obviously something that interests you anyway, right? So we'll just have a conversation about it. So in getting into the mindset of all this stuff, it'll make you think to always have proper footwear for the weather by your door and proper outerwear for the weather by your door, because you can't fit it into a bug out bag, right? I mean, you could, but you don't want to. So you have it easily accessible on your way out anyway, or just literally grab it with your hands and run and get into a car, or run and get safe and put it on there. So you want all that stuff by your door, including your dog leash, if you have a dog or more than one, because you have to think about them too. I'm assuming you're not going to leave them behind. So that's that. Then next, along those same lines, I have one that I've labeled weather. Okay. So in the weather section, I have a few different things. I have put a few things for wet weather. I have a poncho for every member of the family. Okay. I have, this is actually a backpack cover for wet weather. And I have one, and then in case that gets destroyed, I have a backup for that, because I figure that's super important, because it's all of your supplies, okay? Then I also have this, which is a dry bag for any equipment. And this is 12.5 inches by almost 7 inches. So just in case, that is a dry bag. Then I also have 4 Mylar blankets for warmth. These are absolutely amazing, and everybody should have them in the cold weather. If you live somewhere where it gets cold, and it's not a bad idea to have one in your car as well. God forbid you break down in a snowstorm or anything like that, and your car's not running and it's freezing cold out and you're covered in snow, whatever it might be, you want this. So Mylar blankets. And then I have a whole bag. This is another thing that you have to look through to make sure they're not too old, because they don't always work. So here I have a bunch of hand and body warmers that are air activated and provide up to 18 hours of heat. So I have plenty of those. All right, and that's it for weather. Just the essentials. And again, that's why you want your proper footwear and outerwear, easy access. And I have the hats, socks, gloves as well. Next, this is Henny. So Henny doesn't have much. We just throw her leash on her and grab her. I have a collapsible bowl. Okay, this also has a carabiner on it, so it can be hooked to the outside of this bag if I needed more room. But this is a collapsible bowl that gets deeper when you push it out, but it is totally flat when it's closed. And then I grabbed this 15-ounce bag of dog food just to have food for her. And again, this is another thing you want to check the expiration date on regularly. All right, the next section I have is a lighting section. I actually wrote lighting on it. So I have 4 of these reusable twist on and off, which is best. It's not just like the breaking ones. Twist on and off emergency light sticks, and these are waterproof as well. So I happen to have 3 green and 1 red in here. Then I also have this flashing light in case I need it for anything. I have a headlamp, batteries included. And I have 2 of these super thin, super bright and super thin magnetic flashlights from Dollar Tree. These are awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I got those in there. And that is it on lighting. Next, first aid. Little Shein bag. I have a first aid kit from Dollar Tree, but I added many things to it. So one thing I added was the liquid skin. I added 3 iodine swabs. Now, if you remember back in the day, I did a Theoni's favorite thing video, and those iodine swabs were on there because they are awesome. You can order them online. And then there's Band-Aids and gauze in here, and I also added a thick bunch of alcohol prep pads. I got about 15 in there. So I just added extra things to this little one. I threw in the pack of tissues there, in case you need tissues. I threw in this self-adhering Curad wrap. This can be used obviously to wrap a sprain or whatever, but it can also be used to create a sling or create a tourniquet. God forbid you need one, but you can do a lot of things with that. So just having 1 roll of that is perfect. Then if you saw me discuss during a lot of my hauls, you have to think about things that you are going to need to function. So if you are somebody who is addicted to caffeine, you know that when you don't have caffeine, you will have debilitating migraines. So you'll be good to nobody. So what all the blogs and survival experts say about that is to get your caffeine through medication, because it's better than nothing. So I got extra strength headache relief, which is like kind of like Excedrin or Excedrin migraine, and this has 65 milligrams of caffeine. I think per 2. It doesn't even say. Probably per two pills. And then in addition to that, I picked up a box of No-Dos. And the No-Dos has, I can't even remember, 100 milligrams of caffeine or something like that. You can break those in half if you have to. And then I have 3 Tylenols. This is Aleve, These are sterile single-use eye drops, and I like it because I took it out of the box, but it has the expiration date on there. And you also should have some allergy medicine. I don't know why it's not in here. Maybe it's somewhere else. I don't know. Allergy medicine and anti-diarrheal is something else you might want to have in there as well. Just, again, whatever you think. Oh, and while we're on this topic, I forgot to mention, in one of these outside pockets as well on this bag, I have 3 days worth of our daily prescription medications for myself and my husband. So if you're on any prescription medications, make sure you slowly put that away so that you have your stash. And I also have my inhaler. All right, next. This I just call equipment and tools. So this is all kind of random stuff. Poly rope or paracord, without a doubt, is an essential in any bug out bag for 1,000,001 reasons. I also have these packing and receiving gloves. These shipping gloves I put in there. I put a reflective vest in there just because you never know where you're going to end up. All right, then I have sorry guys. I have 2 lighters in there, brand new full lighters, tested, of course. Then I have my second folding knife, just like the first one, and then I have this multi-tool. Multi-tool or Swiss Army knife, another must. There's no negotiations on those items. Then I also picked up one of these. I'm going to take it out. I left it in here just to show you guys. This one comes with a carrying pouch, so I'm going to switch it in there. And actually, let me do that right now. All right, so I've gone ahead and cut it open so I can show you. This is a portable hand chainsaw. You can have a hatchet as well, is a good idea. A little axe, portable shovel is another thing. Again, I'll be adding to this probably constantly. So this is a portable handheld chainsaw. In case you have to cut wood to burn, and I got a pretty big one, but or say, I told my husband, I say, because he thinks I'm crazy, but whatever, I don't care, I'm used to it. So I said, you know, say you're trying to escape and it's a crazy storm or something, and there's a tree, like not a giant tree, but a tree that you can't get through the road. Do you want to, I mean, who knows? I don't know. You can, and my husband was like, you're going to cut and move a tree in the middle of the road. I said, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, definitely handy. All right, so we got that. Or hey, I said tourniquet before. Funny, but not funny. Gotta saw off a limb. Anything could come up, and then, you know, at least you have it. So this one is awesome because it's got this really cool carrying case in there, and it's a hard carrying case so it doesn't get bent up. All right, so just tuck that in there. Okay, what else do we have? All right, then I have a magnesium fire starter. If you carry things like this, make sure you research how to use them, because sounds good, but if you don't know how to use it, it's not going to do you any good. So magnesium fire starter, and then I also ordered this cool thing. It's a 3-in-1 fire starter. This is so awesome. So you have your flint rod and striker bar, another thing that you need to know how to use, a compass, and an FDA approved whistle. When it says designed within the handle, be heard over a distance when you need to draw attention. So this has a whole bunch of imperative things all in one. So that's awesome. So that all goes in the equipment section. Okay. And then This is, what is this one? Entertainment. If you are traveling, or not traveling, but if you have young children, you're gonna need something for them maybe. You don't want it to be too big or too bulky. I think I might actually change this out. Again, it's always growing. So here is a little box of colored pencils and a little pad. And then I also have crayons. And this is what I might change out because I think it might be too big and heavy. But at least right now, that's definitely something that would keep him occupied somewhat. And because I'm a smoker and my husband vapes nicotine, just in case, 1 pack to survive. There's a pack of cigarettes in here. Must think of everything. Okay, next, food. It's pretty important. So with food rations, you want to make sure that they are not thirst inducing, whether it be sugar or salt, right? So, or high sodium levels or high sugar, anything like that. Now, you can live 3 weeks without food. Do you want to? Probably not. And you want to keep your strength up. So it's okay. And again, if you're making a 72-hour bug out bag, you're all right. So I just have a few things in here. One thing I did put in here are just, I have 3. Is it 3? I think I just have 3 sets of fork, spoon, and knife with napkin. And then you can reuse those if you have to. The other thing I purchased, and I have it bubble wrapped still, is this. This Mayday brand is awesome. They have all survival stuff. So this is a 3,600 calorie ration pack. It is high density food. So, and it has a 5-year shelf life. 5-year shelf life on this. So you can even, not even for a bug out bag, but for your house, for your stockpile, for your prepping. They are amazing, this Mayday brand. So this is 3,600 calories. This is considered 3 days for one person. If you want to go crazy, have one of these for each person in your family in your bug out bag. They are kind of heavy. This is almost 2 pounds. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And this is apple cinnamon flavored, but again, enough to survive. That's all I care about. And then I threw in these 2 packs of fully cooked chicken breast that are all sealed up. And if you saw me when I hauled them, they only have 160 milligrams of sodium, so it's not terrible. And it'll be enough to, not interested in staying alive, because I'm not interested in having a bug out bag for 3 weeks, because that's impossible. But just to be a little more comfortable, you know? And I have a child, so even if that all goes to him, it all goes to him, because that's what we do. Next, I have pandemic stuff, because I do. So in the pandemic stuff, I have a whole bunch of masks. I have regular surgical masks, and I also have these N95 foldable masks. I have this little one for my son. I have 2 packs of gloves. I have these antibacterial wipes. Again, you want to make sure, keep checking, make sure those are moist in your bag. And then I have a bottle of Germex as well, just to have. And remember, I had those alcohol wipes in my first aid kit too. Then in health, I have a section just named health. So some things I put in there are a couple of women's things. So if you still need them, you never know. So you want to make sure you have a few of these or a few tampons or something just in case. Then I have these earplugs. Now, earplugs and a sleeping mask isn't a terrible idea either if you have room and they don't take up much room, because you never know where you're going to end up. If you read the articles and the blogs on this stuff, you may end up in an emergency shelter, and they can be very loud, and they can also be very bright. And you want to make sure, if you can, that you get a couple hours of sleep, right, to function better. So that's what I have those for. This is unnecessary, but I decided to throw them in here. Again, they may leave if something else needs the space. That's why I say this is constantly evolving. But I do have a few of these Crest with scope toothbrushes, no water required, just to have. And then again, you don't know where you're going to end up, so I have these travel packs of deep wood off wipes. Again, you want to make sure these are moist. I have a 30 SPF banana boat. In the winter, you need sunscreen too, big time. And this little Chap Ice petroleum jelly in original for anything. Your chapped lips to protect your face in the elements. Amazing. You need that if you need to lubricate something along the way. It can work wonders. So that's also a definite. And next we have water. So I'm still building this. You don't want to carry around bottles of water because they are way too heavy. So another imperative item in any bug out bag is to have a filtration system of your choosing. My filtration system of my choosing is the Life straw. So I have the Life straw right here. All right, and this will filter 1,000 liters of water. 1,000. And it removes 99.9999% of bacteria, E. coli, etc., and 99.9% of protozoa like Giardia, Cryptosporidium, etc. And it meets the US EPA drinking water standards. So, Life straw. I got that. And then I know this seems silly, but they work. So these are actually puppy dog pals. These are actually, and again, I may switch it out if I ever find anything along my travels. But for now, this is fine. So this is from a make your own fruit pouch kit for your children, like applesauce or whatever. Now, the reason why I put these in here, these hold water. They hold liquid. They seal up along the side and they hold liquid completely. You can fill them from the side. They seal up nicely. So these are almost like just drinking bladders if you need them. And then by that same company, Mayday, they make emergency drinking water in pouches, and it also has a 5-year shelf life. So these are 4.225 fluid ounce packs of water, and they're lighter, and again, survival. So you can order this one person 3-day kit from Mayday, which is the block that I showed you, and 6 of these. I got mine, I think, on eBay for like $18.99. So again, that's something you can purchase one at a time of and build up if you want to make sure you have a lot of it. But this is just basics. I'm showing you the foundations here. And the very last thing in my bug out bag right now is this. This is a fireproof and waterproof document bag. Okay, Amazon sells them. It's worth the money. I'll just say that. And they come in different price ranges, but this is the size that I wanted, and it has amazing ratings. This brand is YHX, and it's fireproof and waterproof. So in here I have all of our birth certificates. I'm not going to be showing you our government information, and all of our passports, all 3 of our passports. So, and then if we need them in not an emergency, my husband knows, and I know, obviously, they are kept in the bug out bag. We used to have them in a safe anyway, so you'd have to go get them. Well, here's where they are now. So then another thing to keep by the door or easily accessible, as well as your proper footwear and proper outerwear, is other forms of ID. Keep a wallet with your license, your social security card, whatever it might be, easily accessible all the time. If you have like a little drawer or something by the door that you're exiting from all the time. So in terms of this, other things that people do put in there is any insurance policies if you want. Some people do medical records. Some people say if you have allergies or medical conditions, to have medical bracelets as well that you can put on when you leave. Yeah, like house insurance policies, deeds, like anything like that. Again, totally up to you. And another good idea to add to a bug out bag, if that information is available for you, are the locations and addresses of the emergency shelters that are available in your area should anything happen. So yeah, that's it. And of course, hopefully you'll be in a car. Think of communication, think of chargers, think of if you want to get a like crank radio, anything like that, for because communication is important as well. But again, this is just a beginner bug out bag video to give you some ideas to think about what you may or may not need. And if you want more ideas, I can tell you there are plenty of companies that will rob you blind in pre-made bug out bags. You can tell them family of 2, family of 4, family of 6, boom, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But at least it'll give you ideas and you can go get your own stuff. Just saying. So this was the video I promised. I just wanted to give you a little peek in mine. Again, forever evolving, forever thought process, but at least it's there, and at any given moment I'll be okay. Even if it could be better, it's okay. It's a good start. So I wanted to share that with you because I know a lot of you requested that I show it and that we talk about it. So that is my video, and I'm in no means an expert, but I did a lot of my own research, and that's what I feel comfortable with for now. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and until the next video, stay blessed, my friends. I love each and every one of you.